Have you ever felt that the life you see is just the surface of an infinite ocean? Behind the eyes reading these words, there is a silent observer that does not belong to time. This gaze doesn't just witness your journey, it shapes the very fabric of what you call destiny. What would happen if you discovered that reality is a shifting reflection of your own perception? Many believe that the world is solid and unchangeable, a succession of random events hitting us. But the hidden truth is that we are weavers of photons and intention, operating in an invisible web of energy. Every conscious choice is, in fact, a collapse of wave functions, transforming the impossible into matter. Your awakening begins the exact moment you decide to stop being the victim and start being the author. A quantum leap is not a distance traveled in space, but a radical shift in your vibrational frequency. It is that sacred instant when consciousness observes itself and realizes that the chains were illusions. When you change the way you look at your shadows, the light that emerges doesn't just illuminate, it transmutes. You are no longer waiting for the future, you are remembering who you are right now. The directions life points us toward often seem like whispers amidst the chaos of mental noise. Consciousness, in its mystical wisdom, uses silence to guide us through paths that logic would never dare to tread. To access this map, one needs the courage to break the paradigms of the linear and limited mind. The universe doesn't speak Portuguese or English, it responds to the resonance of your state of being. In this video, we will dive into the golden abyss of self-observation to understand how to operate this spiritual technology. Get ready to unlearn everything you were told about the barriers between the self and the whole. We are about to cross the portal of perception where the observer and the object become a single vibrant force. The invitation has been made. Are you ready to look into the eyes of your own divinity? In traditional physics, it was believed that the world existed independently, without our interference. However, the double-slit experiment revealed that matter behaves like a wave until it is observed. In the field of spirituality, this means that your soul is the ultimate collider of realities. Nothing in your life remains static when you finally decide to rest your conscious gaze upon the invisible. Imagine that all versions of who you can be are floating in an ocean of probabilities. They are infinite frequencies waiting for the vibrational command of the I Am to become tangible and real experiences. The observer effect of the soul is the act of withdrawing attention from the problem and focusing it on the solution. By doing this, you are not just thinking, you are collapsing a new timeline. The soul does not observe with physical eyes, which are limited by biology and fear. It observes through pure intention, that silent force emanating from the center of your chest. When you face a difficulty under this sacred perspective, the atomic structure of that situation begins to yield. What once seemed like a solid obstacle dissolves into a mist of new and unexpected opportunities. Often, we live on autopilot, allowing the collective unconscious to observe our lives for us. This creates a repetitive reality, a cycle of echoes from the past that insist on manifesting. Reclaiming the role of conscious observer is like taking control of a cosmic cinema projector. You stop being the character suffering the script to become the light that sustains it. There is a hidden alchemy in the simple act of witnessing your own shadows without any judgment. When consciousness observes pain without identifying with it, the pain loses its electromagnetic charge. This is the true observer effect. The light of consciousness is what transmutes lead into gold. You don't need to fight the darkness, just illuminate it with your awakened presence. This perception shifts the paradigm of prayer and manifestation as we know them in the modern world. It is not about asking an external God for something, but about observing the reality you desire. By feeling the emotion of the wish already fulfilled, you see that possibility in the quantum field of the soul. The universe, by the law of resonance, has no other choice but to materialize what was observed. Science calls this interference, but mysticism knows it as the Creator's touch of the internal divinity. Every time you quiet yourself to meditate, you are adjusting the focus of your spiritual lens. A lens clouded by limiting beliefs produces a blurred image full of unnecessary suffering. A clean, crystalline lens reveals that paradise has always been here, just waiting for your vision. Therefore, understand that you are the determining factor in every experiment life presents to you today. There is no separation between the scientist who observes and the particle dancing in the primordial vacuum. Your soul is the eyewitness to a continuous miracle we call physical and earthly existence. Begin to observe your world with the love of someone who knows they are creating everything right now. Time, as we know it, is a mental construct that keeps us trapped in the logic of waiting. In quantum mysticism, we understand that past and future are merely coordinates on a map of now. A quantum leap in consciousness occurs when you stop walking step by step. You simply disappear from a frequency of pain and reappear in one of peace. Imagine that your life is composed of infinite frames of a movie that has already been recorded. Consciousness is the projector's light that decides which scene to focus your attention on. By changing your internal state, you jump from a limited script to a narrative of power. This movement requires no physical effort, but a total surrender to the field of possibilities. Science tells us that an electron changes orbits without traveling through the physical space between them. In your spiritual journey, this translates as the instant healing of an old and dense trauma. The moment you stop identifying with the story of the victim, the leap happens. You are no longer healing the past, you are inhabiting a new timeline. Living in quantum leaps requires you to let go of the addictive need to understand the how. The rational mind wants to build bridges, but the soul prefers to simply spread its wings. When you trust the direction consciousness points to, the path creates itself under your feet. The universe doesn't demand a business plan, it demands a clear vibrational signature. Often, the fear of the unknown is what keeps us anchored in the same repetitive orbit. The quantum leap asks you to accept the void between who you were and who you wish to be. It is in this space of non-being that the magic of pure creation truly manifests with force. Do not fear the dark between the stars. It is there that your new sun is being born. Observe how synchronicities increase when you allow yourself to jump to a higher octave. People, opportunities, and resources emerge from nowhere to sustain your new and elevated reality. This is not luck or coincidence, it is the perfect alignment with your new vibrational coordinate. The observer changed the frequency, and the radio of the universe tuned into a different song. Every high-frequency thought is an invitation for your physical reality to readjust right now. You do not need decades of penance to access the abundance that is your right. Linear time is an illusion that dissolves before a firm and focused spiritual will. Claim your new timeline as one who reclaims a forgotten inheritance. As we close this topic, realize that you have already taken several leaps today by absorbing these truths. Your perception has expanded, and your old self no longer fits in this new space. Consciousness has observed itself and decided that the horizon is too small for it. The leap has been taken. Now, feel the ground of your new reality beneath your feet. Intuition as a flash of information. Intuition is the native language of consciousness when it decides to communicate with form. Unlike logical thought, which moves step by step, intuition is an immediate jump. It does not deduce the truth through facts, it simply knows because it accesses the whole. It is a download of information that already exists in the field of infinite possibilities. Often, the rational mind tries to translate these flashes of wisdom into the vocabulary of fear. But pure intuition arrives as a flash of absolute certainty, with no need for justification. It is consciousness observing the potential future and bringing the exact coordinate to your now. Learning to trust this signal is what differentiates the survivor from the spiritual master. Imagine intuition as a quantum compass pointing in directions your eyes ignore. It sees the curves of the road long before you turn the corner of experience. When you ignore this internal calling, you are choosing the longer and denser path. Following intuition is accepting the divine shortcut that the soul has prepared for you. The human brain functions as an antenna that picks up specific frequencies of information and light. When we silence the noise of daily worries, we tune into the radio of the vast universal consciousness. In this state, answers are not sought, they are simply received with total clarity. You become an open channel for the intelligence that organizes the galaxies. These flashes of information usually arise in moments of pause, where control is relaxed. It could be during a shower, a walk, or in the brief silence before deep sleep. It is the moment when consciousness sees itself without the shackles of the ego. The universe takes advantage of this gap to deliver the code you have been searching for. Intuition is the tool that allows us to navigate through the multiple daily quantum leaps. It warns us which door to open and which conversation we should gently withdraw from now. It is a nonlinear intelligence operating outside the dictatorship of the clock and solid matter. By honoring your intuition, you validate the presence of the divine dwelling within you. Break the paradigm that you need external proof to make big life decisions. The greatest proof you can have is the internal peace that accompanies a true insight. If the direction makes your heart expand, it is the direction of consciousness. Logic may explain the path, but only intuition knows the final destination. From now on, observe how life becomes a fluid dance of magical hits. You stop fighting the current to surf the wave of wisdom that knows all. Intuition is the gift of consciousness so that you never feel alone or lost. Listen to the flash, trust the light, and take the next step with courage. The outer world is not a place you enter, but a projection you emit. Consciousness, in observing itself, uses physical matter as a sacred cinema screen. Every person who crosses your path and every event that arises is a pixel. What you see out there is the direct result of what you sustain in here. Often, we try to change the reflection in the mirror without changing the expression on our face. We fight against circumstances, try to manipulate people, and force situations that do not flow. But the mirror of reality is honest and implacable. It only returns your frequency. To change the projection, you must first change the projector residing in your mind. The situations that bother us most are, in fact, our greatest quantum teachers. They point to parts of our consciousness that have not yet been observed or healed. When you embrace a shadow projected onto the world, the mirror stops reflecting conflict. Reality reorganizes itself instantly to mirror the new peace you have conquered. If you see scarcity and fear, consciousness is focused on lack and separation. If you see beauty and synchronicity, you have tuned into the abundance of the original field. The mirror does not judge what it reflects, it only obeys the law of divine correspondence. You are the master of ceremonies of your own existential and cosmic theater. Understanding the world as a projection is the definitive end of any victim role. If reality is your reflection, you hold the absolute power to transform it now. There is no external force that can stop a consciousness that has decided to change frequency. The universe is malleable to the one who recognizes themselves as the source of the light. Observe how people around you react when you change your internal state. They seem to follow a new script, often without understanding why the change occurred. This happens because you altered the slit through which the light of observation passes. The observer effect of the soul reorganizes the molecules of your immediate surroundings. The direction consciousness points us to is always the way back home. And home is the recognition that we are one with everything we observe. The mirror of reality is just a reminder that there is no real separation. Everything is a grand conversation of consciousness with itself through forms. As you finalize this understanding, begin to look at your day as a personal art gallery. Ask yourself, what is this image trying to tell me about who I am today? In doing so, you become the conscious observer who transmutes life itself. The mirror stops being a limit and becomes your portal. The creative void, the 0 point. Often, we fear silence and the void as if they were absences of life. However, in quantum mysticism, the void is the state of pure potential. It is the interval between two thoughts, the space between heartbeats. It is in this 0 point that consciousness observes itself without labels. There, you are not your name, your story, or your pains. When we silence the noise of expectations, we enter the vacuum from which everything emerges. Creation does not happen through effort, but through surrender to this fertile vacuum. It is the moment the caterpillar dissolves before becoming a butterfly. For the new to take up space, the old must give way to nothingness. The creative void is the cosmic womb of all your future realities. By sustaining your gaze into this void, you access the energy of the unified field. There is no resistance at the 0 point, only the fluidity of pure divine intelligence. This is where miracles stop being exceptions and become natural. You stop trying to do and start allowing life to happen. Consciousness at rest is the most powerful force in all of creation. In this state of absolute presence, the direction life points becomes crystal clear. There are no doubts when the soul speaks from its center of peace. The void is not lonely, it is filled with the vibrant presence of your being. It is the meeting of the observer with the vacuum itself that generates light. Learn to love the silence, for it is the voice of your mastery. At the end of this video, I invite you to close your eyes for a brief moment. Feel the space between the inhalation and the exhalation, the point of pause. There resides your power to take the next quantum leap right now. You are the observer, the mirror, the leap, and the creative void itself. The universe is just waiting for you to take your place. The journey of self-observation is a point of no return toward total freedom. You have discovered that reality is malleable and that your perception is the tool. There are no more paradigms that can hold a consciousness that recognizes itself. The mystery of life is not something to be solved, but lived. And you now are the master conducting your own cosmic dance. Remember, every time you turn your gaze inward, the world is reborn. The light you seek is the same light that is already looking through you. Be the compass that points to the infinite and the heart that embraces the now. The leap has been taken, the mirror has shone, and the void has embraced you. Welcome to the new octave of your conscious and full existence. We close this cycle of wisdom knowing that transformation is our only constant. May your walk be guided by intuition and illuminated by the truth of the soul. If this content resonated with your frequency, share this light with other seekers. See you at the next quantum leap, in a new timeline.